Hello, Todd McMitchin here, Director of Lifeway Generosity. Today I want to talk about and give you 4 steps to create a life-giving church budgeting process. Now I know, Pastor, church budgeting process is not high on your thrill list, and I understand that. You're about people and scripture and relationships and ministry, and the world of spreadsheets and numbers and financial terms just doesn't thrill you. Get it. So let me help you with that, but also help you advance your passion, your vision during this season. So here are 4 steps to create a life-giving church budgeting process. Step number 1, create a unifying church goal at the very beginning of the process. Something that your entire team can rally around and will give you a focus point to discern priorities and expenses. For instance, let's just say you created a goal for the future year that you wanted to see a 20% increase in small group participation with a clearly defined discipleship pathway for all ages. Well, that obviously is a lot of work, and who would not be blessed by that kind of growth of 20%, a clear discipleship pathway? I mean, that means you're going to need to invest in leaders, you're going to need to invest in thinking, you're going to need to invest in content, you're going to need to invest in guests, you're going to need to invest in training, all age groups involved. And it's a great rallying point. So now your budget process is not about figuring out how much money everybody needs. Your budget process is of figuring out about how we can all channel our resources towards this one goal that's going to bless everybody, expand the kingdom. So begin with a ministry goal that unifies all of your team. Second step is then provide some clear objectives as to the work that'll need to be accomplished in the next year. So just to stay relating to that goal that I stated previously, you're going to need to create a discipleship pathway and locate or create content. You're going to need to enlist leaders and do some training, and you're going to have to increase your guest experiences, because if you're going to have 20% growth on the back end of alignment and people becoming engaged, you're going to need more guests coming through. So there's a whole lot of work that needs to be done, but there's probably 5 or 6 really big things that you'd have to do in the next year that you want to prioritize in terms of calendar, staff time, and then also your dollar resources. So now you've got the entire team thinking, all right, we've got 4 to 5, 6 things we're going to all need to prioritize. Step 3, create an overall budget target as well as targets for individual ministries. So now you know pretty much what giving is going to be based on your trends. And so let's go ahead and assign the total dollar figure and assign individual department figures based on what we know. And let's encourage our team now to manage the resources they're being given, instead of everybody requesting a lot of resources that we then have to whittle down, right? I want to flip that. Let's just give some reasonable numbers out there. Let people work their ministry plan into those numbers to save everybody time and heartache. So listen, let me give you a free tip right here. I would not increase budget spending for future years above previous year's receipts. All that does is create pressure on you all year long that's unnecessary. So when you create that total dollar figure for your budget for future years, make sure it's less than your current year's receipts so that you build in a little margin so you take the pressure off. All right, and so then have your team and make those assignments with your team and have them fit their department ministry budget into the assigned target you've given them. Now, if they have a really big need and they want to request it beyond that, they certainly can, but let's try to help eliminate that. All right, so the 4th step is when your team and ministry leaders present back their budget plan using the targeted figure you gave them inside of the larger goal that is aligned to the ministry goal, ask them to create a ministry action plan that supports how they're going to spend the resources. So you really want them spending a lot of time, not just on how do they get as much money as they can out of us as leaders. We want to encourage them to align their plan with the goal that was stated and spend their time managing the resources we're assigning to them. So that way you can see how they plan to prioritize the ministry. It's great accountability for everyone and creates a much better conversation than having to always kind of reduce expenses or requests based on not having clarity. So I want to just admit that budgeting process isn't always thrilling. I get it. But I also want to say it can get out of hand and there can be some tension there that doesn't need to be created, as well as an inflation of resource expenses as well. So let me remind you of the 4 tips to make it life-giving. Create a goal. Second thing, then create a little bit of some objectives on your calendar to focus your ministry expenses towards to meet the goal. Number 3, assign a target, a goal number for every single ministry. And then 4, request your ministry team leaders to present an action plan and how they're going to use those resources. That will be a lot more fun way to go about this. Plus, you'll advance your vision and you'll see measurable results. God bless you, and go unleash giving today.